Alex asked, what are fair expectations for Bama this year? What happens if they underachieve again? This second question always floors me. I love it. We're not talking about A&M. We're not talking about West Virginia. Okay, those are teams where if they underachieve this year, you may very well be looking at coaching changes. You absolutely would be looking at one at West Virginia. This is a question about an 11-2 Sugar Bowl champion. And the question is, what if they underachieve again? Which leads one to believe they underachieved last year, and one is right to believe that, which shows you how astronomically high the standard is at a place like Alabama. So let's answer the second question first. What happens if they underachieve again? They'll probably win 10 games, and nothing will really change, at least cosmetically. Nothing will really change. Like, what do you want me to say? That they're going to fire Nick Saban? He's going to voluntarily step down? I'm not good enough anymore. I only won 10 this year. Nothing's going to change, or at least nothing that is related to that, or nothing that's caused by that would change. But the first question is the one that I want to focus on. What is a reasonable expectation for them? Reasonable, in our eyes, is what is out of 100 simulations the most likely outcome. So it's not best case, it's not worst case, it's most likely, it's reasonable to expect this. 12-0 is reasonable to expect with them every year. There are 2 or 3 programs where you can reasonably have that expectation. That doesn't mean it's a crisis if they're 11-1. That doesn't mean the earth is tilting off its axis if they're 10-2. But it does mean when you recruit the best players in the country, you've got the best infrastructure in the country, you've got the best head coach in the country, you've got an established track record of a decade and a half of dominance now. Yeah, it's reasonable to expect that you'll beat every team on your regular season schedule because you'll be favored against every one of them. That's reasonable. And then if you go 11-1, all your goals are still in front of you, you're good. Unless the one loss you have is to a team that themselves goes undefeated in your division. So they play Texas in week 2. They got Ole Miss at home in week 4. They go to A&M this year. They got Tennessee at home. They got LSU at home. They go to Auburn at the end of the year. They absolutely should win every game they play. Now, the question obviously starts at quarterback. The questions also extend to the 2 new coordinators. I think it's going to be an interesting team to watch this year. You know, as I say this, it makes it sound like I think there's some superhuman team. I don't think that at all. I thought last year's team was the one that was really supposed to rewrite the record books up there. So Alabama this year, yeah, it's reasonable to expect them to win every game. It's always reasonable to expect a team to win a game they're favored in. And Bama will be favored in every game on their schedule, so it's reasonable to expect that. But what happens if they don't? What is underachievement? Is 11-1 underachievement? Is 10-2? 10-2 is underachievement. What if? Well, what if? Okay. What if that happens? The thing that happens if that goes down would be the same thing that's happening right now. People would freak out. Nick Saban may make some staff changes, but they'd just roll right into the next season and go about their business. That's what would happen. That's the what if. I was almost unsure of how to answer that question, so I decided to just answer it on the fly. That's it. What if? It already happened. So you already see what would happen if that went down.